Okay, so tell them the story.
So, in that ashram, it was evening, sun had gone down, but night had not started. This couple came, and I was preparing room for them to make them sleep on the room. I was preparing this. So, this lady, all of a sudden, she said, Dwarkoji, you are my son. So I did not reply. I took it lightly. People say like this, you are my son. I did not take much serious.
What, you are living with her?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then
you know how to close this, Sami?
we lived together.
How
3
to shut
months
it down?
they were with us.
This one?
But she was really behaving like mother. 3 months. Her husband, she is not educated, but her husband is educated, very good. So he was not treating me like this. Honorary friend, but she continued. I did not take it serious. But then they left. After 3 months they left. Then really she had her own son. So I thought when she has her son now, she will not keep me so much like this, that you are my son and that. But it did not happen. She continued this up to 60 years.
60 years?
Continued. Very nice. But husband, very good friend. We had a very nice, but not like son.
Okay.
Now they are old and their health is also not good. So I go to them to meet them. When they write, I go. So 5 years before, I went there. And we were sitting, she was sitting on the chair, I was sitting here. So I asked her, what is your age? These 60 years, I never asked her age. So I said, what is your age? She said, 75 years. What is the age of your husband? She said, 81. So, may I ask you one question? She said, yes. I am 86. How can I be your son? So she did not reply, but she became little serious, thinking by what reply I should give. So I said, now I tell you. Yes, tell me. I said, when my mother died, I was 5 years old. And after 6 years, the soul of a mother entered in your body. Now, where are you? You are in South India. My mother died in Pakistan. Now, I cannot tell you how from Pakistan she came to South India and entered in my body, I don't know what. Then I said, she did not reply. She heard this all, she was quiet, not replying anything. So I said that in India, people believe in soul. And soul also, they believe soul never dies. And when soul enters in some body, at that time, soul decides how many years I shall stay in this body. Date of death is also decided. Secondly, that how to live in this body, that also is decided. It is believed in India about soul. So I said, now you are 75. Your husband is
81.
81. I am 86. Now how can I be your son? But then one thing I thought, that though she had her own son, her son is in America near Chicago, but she did not decrease her love for me.
Mm-hmm.
Same. And she told me that when I told you that you are my son, at that time I did not see your face clearly because it is dark. But just it came to on my lips, and I said this.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is very strange, but here in India we believe that suppose 10 years before, one day you had contact with people, and after 10 years you don't remember everything what happened that day, but some things which are very serious and important, we remember. In the same way, people remember of the previous life. Not all, but some.
Okay. I believe that.
No, but now let us know
in-
how you take it. Do you believe in this theory of reincarnation or rebirth?
May I
don't.
interject something here? I had a conversation with my son
Uh-huh.
5 years ago, and he that's okay, and he had told me that his mother was teaching him about Taoism, and that what he was learning about Taoism is that when you die, what you did in life doesn't matter. And I said, first, I'm absolutely certain that you are not learning correctly, because no religion would teach that. But I said, but let me ask you this question. My son is very scientific. He loves science.
How big is he?
He's 25 now.
25.
Yeah. So
And this conversation took
this
place
was
when?
when he was 20.
20.
So I said, you being scientific, do you believe in the scientific tenet that you cannot destroy energy?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yes. And I said, good. I'm sitting here speaking with you. We have, our brains are interleaving. We're having a conversation. We're doing all of these things. We have motion. We have emotion. Do you think that people have energy? He thought for a moment. He says, yes. So I said, so if you say when the body dies, everything's gone, what happens with the energy that's been inside of us? And he sat and he thought, and he said, that's the most simple, brilliant thing. He said, Dad, I have a whole different respect for you. Because what I said is that some people may call that soul, some people may call that other things.
Yeah.
But what it is that it's real. And so I believe that our energy goes...
It's usually referred to as consciousness.
Yeah.
Consciousness.
Okay.
So because he has to be told a little louder. Okay. His son, Bob's grandson, at the age of 20, he is a student of science. He is a student of science.
Mm-hmm.
So he was discussing with his son, and his son says that this energy never dies. So, whether you call energy, whether you call light, whether you call soul, whatever, it is a power, it's an energy. It doesn't die. So this also scientifically proves that this body, this shell, this dress may go, but the energy or the light inside, the power inside, that doesn't die. with this shell.
Now I want to tell you about Venoba. You know Venoba?
Yes.
Gandhi's advisor, spiritual advisor.
And his guru,
He's a
actually.
great thinker, and I went to meet Gandhi. Gandhi was not there. So one young man from Odisha was going to teach Urian language to Vinoba every Saturday. So he said, Dwarkoji, do you know Vinoba? I said, no. I've read in newspapers, but I don't know. Yes, I'm going to teach him. Come on, you come with me. I shall introduce you. All right. We went there. When he introduced him, that I'm from Pakistan, so he said, today I will not study Uriya. I will study my language. So he went in his library, brought my Sindhi book,
We are Sindhi. By
and he showed me lesson also. Teach me this lesson. I taught him because this man told him that I am a teacher. I taught him. Time was finished. Then he said, now tomorrow morning I shall talk to you and let this man go away. Let him go to Gandhi's ashram, you stay here. I said, okay. Next morning, when I went to meet him, he said, you tell me your life story. I was surprised. And why you want to know my life? What is my life as a young boy?
he was a
You
young,
are such a
22
great
years
man.
old.
What is my life story?
Way back 1945.
But I told him. Whatever I knew, I told him. Then he said, Dwarkoji, you write me one letter per month. Every month you write me a letter. This was also a surprise for me. That, what is the price of my letter? What he will do with my letter? And anyway, I went there and I started writing letters. Then next year, I came to stay with him for 1 month. I was afraid, frightened, because his life was so hard. Food was so bad that it was very difficult for me. But anyway, I told him that I shall stay 1 month. So anyway, I passed 1 month. But I decided not to come again here. This is not place for me. I cannot stay here. I went back to Pakistan. Then really Pakistan happened.
Dwayne? Okay. I'm in a meeting right now. Can I call you back? Good. Okay, thanks. Sorry.
So when India was divided. I came to Bombay. But
When
I had
he says
decided
India was
not to
decided-
go to Vinoba's ashram.
When he says India
It
was...
was 1947 it was
When
divided.
India is separated from Pakistan.
Yeah. Actually, Pakistan came on 1947.
Yeah.
Before that, it was all India.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Pakistan was also India.
Yeah.
Pakistan
I
was
just
born in
wanted-
1947 when
Only
India was
to,
divided.
to know
So
what
I
happened.
wanted to tell, I told you that I had decided not to come again here. But it was difficult for me. So I came to Bombay and I was searching some place where to stay. I was not getting satisfaction. 3 months passed. I was not getting any place where I should stay. One day I was sitting in a train alone. And I thought, why are you afraid of Vinoba? There are human beings there. You are also a human being. Why are you afraid? This idea came to me. I wrote him a letter that I want to come to your ashram. I went. In 7 days, I got the reply, you come. I went there. From first day, on 20 December 47, I reached here. First day, evening, he started teaching me Maharashtrian language, one song. So he taught me one song. Then he told me that now you translate the song in your mother tongue and teach me. So at one time he was teaching me Maharashtrian language and I was teaching him Sindhi language together. On the death of Gandhi, I told you his life was so hard. No electricity, no radio, no tape recorder, no telephone. But living so very simple life.
He came from a big family,
On
so
lantern,
rich family.
kerosene lantern, we were reading. One man came on bicycle because he heard on radio that Gandhi is killed. And he knew that Venoba had nothing. So he took a bicycle and came on bicycle 6 miles, very fast he came. So he was very much. And he came and sat, and in his language he told Venoba. I did not understand, because it was only 1 month, 10 days, so I could not understand. But I saw Venoba became serious. He was not speaking anything, only he was thinking that. Then he told me, you go and tell ashram people. I had not understood anything. Then I called this man and asked him what is the matter. Then he told me that Gandhi is shot 3 bullets and he died. So I went and told ashram. Then after 1 hour, the President of India, he was there. So he came by car to ashram. Because we had no telephone, he could not speak, so he came. And he told him that I have asked aeroplane from Delhi tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I shall go by aeroplane to Delhi. You come with me. He told him, no, I will not come. He was surprised how he is saying, I will not come. And such a big incident has happened. He said, I have already met Gandhiji and I have spoken to him. That soul.
Soul force.
Now I tell you, I stayed with him 36 years with this man. And I had absolutely no difficulty. No difficulty. Everything was the same, but now I was mentally prepared to live. After his death, one girl from Kerala, she came to meet me. So we were talking at lunch and we both took lunch together. Then the parts were taken by children. Then she said, she's very simple, mild, humble, very nice girl. She said, Dwarkoji, do you know why I love you? I said, you are foolish. You love me, then I also love you, because you love Venoba. I love Venoba. And then we should love each other. What is the, it's nothing special. She said, no, it is not so. There's something else. Now, we were young, about, say, 45, 50 years. So she said, there's something else. I said, what is this else? She said, when Venoba was alive, there was another man was very near to Venoba. And we all believed that after Venoba, he will look after us, he will guide us. But he died before Venoba died. My heart fell. She said, then I went to Venoba and I asked him, this man we thought will guide us after you, now he died. Now who is another person who will do this work after your death? So he said, Dwarko. He took my name. She said, I was shocked to hear your name. So I told him, no, I know him. He's a very dry person. He's not a loving man. So how can you tell his name? So he said, Venoba said, he is the coconut. Outside is very hard. But you go inside. Then you will see. Now when Venoba told me, so I believed in him. Then I started loving him. Now this also you can see about his soul I am saying. Now how I came to him. And first I decided not to come again. Then I came here. I stayed 36 years there. And he had this impression for me. So this is, I believe, I personally, from this experience, believe that there is a soul.
I absolutely believe it. There's no question.
Do you have an opinion, Emily?
And soul?
I believe it. It's.
Speak up because he...
Speak up, he can't hear you. Do you believe in people and in the soul and after going and... Yeah.
We, in fact, believe in one more way. We say soul and super soul. The super soul means God, whatever name you give.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like an ocean. God is like an ocean, and the drop of the ocean is the soul. This is how we are explained in our religion. There is an ocean because God is a fathomless. God is infinite. You can't measure, you cannot, there is no beginning, no end.
Now 1 year before, I read one article. In this article, Gandhi wrote a letter with his own handwriting to Venoba. Only one sentence, not many. I have never seen such a great super conscious man like you, or I have never heard or I have never seen in my life. Gandhi wrote this to him. Such a super consciousness man I have never heard or never seen.
Wow.
Mahatma Gandhi is saying to Venoba.
Yeah.
And how Venoba reacted.
That's
Gandhi.
very close. That's very close.
What the Dalai Lama
to what the Dalai Lama said about Dwarkoji.
Gandhi was a man with truth. He believed in truth. He will never exaggerate things. Whatever he will believe, he will say.
So what was the reaction of Venoba after receiving this letter?
That is interesting to know. What happened? That mail came and he saw Gandhi's handwriting. So first he opened this letter and there was only this sentence written. Gandhi tore and threw.
Venoba tore it up
And threw. And another man was sitting there.
Industrialist.
He also knew Gandhi's handwriting and he saw that he had torn the letter. So he went and took those papers and
then he matched.
saw. And it was written like this. Then he said, Venoba, such a nice letter, you tore and threw
Threw it away.
Venoba said, I thought if really he has written this for me, he has that real feeling for me, then I heard this and assimilated.
I have digested
Yep.
it.
But if he has written this through just in a formal way, then I don't have to.
Message he got, so
I
this is,
understand.
I have digested
It's
it.
the information that was the important, not the handwriting.
Yeah, if it is out of attachment
Yeah.
as a friend or as
Right.
a, so then you say it has no value.
Right.
So this is the like. So Bob is asking you, what did the Dalai Lama say about you?
About
Dalai Lama for you.
Dalai Lama is a very nice man, and I have contact with him when he was 15 years old. Now he's 72 years old.
So long,
Yeah.
long association.
So he's a very good man. Means this is my impression about him. So many years we have contact. So whatever he said, one day he said, Dwarkoji, I preach compassion. You live compassion. Very nice man.
Very nice.
Very good man. And now I'm not talking about his philosophy.
I understand.
He has very much faith in Ghandi and Venoba, very much. So I don't talk about this. But as a person, he's a very good man. Very.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's,
comes
it's
here.
what's inside.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama comes here.
First time he came to my ashram, I didn't know. And we ashram people don't have these formalities. So on the ground, I put one cushion and I was sitting with him on the cushion. I did not know there's a law that you cannot sit with Dalai Lama like this. Dalai Lama's seat must be higher. There's
He's
law.
a king and he's supposed to be incarnation.
I didn't know. Nobody told
Sure.
me. And look, this man took it serious. I didn't know. Then after 2 weeks,
But he was a child at the time. But he was 15.
No.
This is later.
How old was Dalai Lama? How old was he when he came?
He was 15. Dalai Lama,
Yeah.
when he came, he was 15. When he came to India, he took asylum. He was 15 years old.
no, I met him when he, under the Chinese regime, he came to Bodh Gaya. At that time I met
Oh,
him.
he came to
When he
worship
was-
because Lord Buddha, they worship. Tibetan.
When he was 15 years old,
Right.
young boy.
Yeah.
So this time I was telling you that he came to Bodh Gaya. After 2-3 weeks, in his temple, there was meeting organized.
That was much later, no?
Huh?
Much later, no? Not.
Many years back.
But he was not 15. How old he was at that time?
At that time, maybe 30.
Okay. That's what I was trying to.
That's what he
okay.
was asking.
So he, people did, there were 50 people. We had to meet him. And because everybody both knows that I have got very good contact with Dalai Lama. So they told me that you welcome him when he comes. I said yes. No harm to welcome him. So on the ground we were sitting and there was one chair for Dalai Lama and those people knew the seat would be higher. I didn't know this. So they told me that I should welcome. So I went and sat near the chair on the ground. So when I had to welcome, so he came. We 50 people were sitting. He came and he saw me. So he asked man to remove the chair.
So he could sit at the same level.
Now we are sitting on the chair. I sat here. When he saw me, Then he asked, because he would have sat on the chair, but when he saw me, he asked the person to remove the chair.
Wow.
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 And he sat on the ground. All right. I did not take much. That meeting was finished. Then his one Lama, another Lama, he was a big man. So he made meditation. He did meditation in our ashram. And for the ceremony, he brought Dalai Lama to our ashram. So I was standing on the door that he will come and I shall welcome him. So at the corner he saw this building, our building. They came on foot. He said, no, there's another man living. He did not remember my name. But he said, there's another man living here. Then he saw me. Then I moved near and I put garland. So he said, why you did not bring me here? Why this man has brought me here? I said, no. Look, I am here to welcome you. But this is his function. So he has brought you. It is not that I did not want to, but it was his function, so he has done it. We went inside. Now, he was a Tibetan, so he had made higher seat for him. And he told him, not with tongue like this, sit here. So he looked at me. He said, may I sit on this seat? I said, yes. He has made for you. No, this is ashram. Everybody should sit on the ground. That he remembered, that I made him sit on the ground 1 year before. He remembered it. So he said, no, everybody should sit on the ground. I said, no, you are right. This is ashram. We don't observe any formality. You sit on the ground, well and good. You sit on the chair, well and good. What is the harm? So you sit when he has made you sit there. So he went and sat. And we all sat on the ground. We all sat on the ground. So after 1 minute, he came down.
Thank you.
He came down and sat on the ground. He said, I feel uneasy to sit there. I want to sit on the ground. Okay. So I told you he's a very good man.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah, very
His
interesting.
behavior,
You
very good heart.
you told me to come to Bodh Gaya when he was here, and you would introduce me, but I never took you up to come to Bodh Gaya.
It is good if you come.
Thank you so much.
I'm hoping I take his son. I'm hoping I take his son on a trip around the world, and I come to see
I
him.
shall take your address. When he comes, I can inform you.
I would love that. I would love that.
I got very much respect for him. Now, recently what happens, you see, these great men, their disciples are not good men. So, his secretary, I had some work with him. I went from Bodh Gaya to his place. But his secretary said, no, Dalai Lama has no time. He cannot just spare time for you. I told him, look, I want to meet you. I told him, but he did not accept. So I said, all right, now from Bodh Gaya I have come. Can I just say, you just see him, just say, to meet him? He said, yes, that you can see. You can see him. I said, so he took me to that place. There were many other people also sitting to see Dalai Lama. So I went and sat in the back because there were other people sitting. So this man came to me. He said, no, you sit in the front, so that I shall make you talk to the Dalai Lama before he can talk to other people. I went with him. So first 1 or 2 sentences he spoke. I thought he is not recognizing me. That he is Dwarko either. But after 2 sentences, then when he spoke more, I understood no. He knows me, he understands. So then,
Thank you so much.
then because there was no time, so I came out. Then he told that man in Tibetan language something. I did not understand. Then this man came to me. He said, I asked Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama asked me to give you a check of 300,000 rupees. So, in whose name I should make a check? I said, why are you asking me? Dalai Lama should say, why should I say, you write a check for me? What are you talking? So he went back and asked Dalai Lama for whom the check will be addressed. So he said, Dwarko Sundrani, purpose samanvayasam.
What?
Samanvayasam, purpose about
The
the
ashram.
He said, it is okay now. Now I tell you this now, when they asked him, he replied it. He said, give him check. But he did not say, him means food.
Yeah.
Or how much. And for what purpose. So, I tell you, I got very much respect for it. A very good man.
That's good. Many followers. It's good that there are many followers if he's a good man.
Gandhi has no followers. A lot of people who respect him.
Not Gandhi. He's talking about Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama has a lot of people, yeah. A lot of people.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's good that he's a good man if he has a lot of followers. That's a good thing.
Dalai Lama has really, I think, you said when Dalai Lama last came to Bodh Gaya, there were how many? 300,000 people? 300,000 people, Bodh Gaya. The population of that Bodh Gaya is only
This year,
8,000. What is the population of Bodh Gaya?
about 10,000.
10,000. As against that 300,000 people collecting. Imagine.
Isn't Bodh Gaya the birthplace of Buddha?
No, it's not a Bodh Gaya birthplace of Lord Buddha. It is he got the enlightenment. Because he was worshipping.
Okay.
He was under penance. That also, people believe that Bodh Gaya is known because of Lord Buddha. Is it so? Is it so?
I have to tell you. Now this time after he came, when I told you, there were 300,000 people. And temple committee gave him lunch.
Oh, it's nice.
They invited me also in this lunch. So about that corner, he was going. And I had also gone for lunch. So I was standing here. He was surrounded by people. He was going. So I did not think that why to disturb him. He is going with me. And there was no work also. By chance, he saw me. And he came to me.
Wow.
And he spoke. Then we both went inside. I also tried for lunch, he also tried. And lunch was finished. I came earlier outside. He came little late. So again I was standing here. And he was going there. Again he saw me. Again he came me. And he's so gentle.
Gentle.
He does not understand that he's a great man. Very good man.
That's good.
When we were driving here, I started to tell Emily and David about something that you talked about with me years ago, and you were identifying frozen violence. He was telling me about things like hate, and he identified it as frozen violence.
Frozen violence. Frozen violence. Frozen violence.
Not wearing. He have hearing aid. But he don't want to hear it.
Can you more explain to him?
You taught me.
Speak up.
Okay. You, maybe when we were at Stanford, I don't remember where, but you taught me that things like hate and jealousy and other things are frozen violence. They are violence in another form.
Yeah.
Is that...
In
इंडिया में तो
स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में जॾहिं हुआसीं 4 years बैक 4 साल अवल चयो त हेट एंड वायलेंस हेट जेका नफ़रत आहे उहा फ्रोज़न वायलेंस आहे दिस इज़ व्हाट ही वांट्स यू एक्सप्लेन टू
You see, really, fact is that we are all one because there's soul inside. But suppose today there's so much poverty. We are not harming somebody, but in our village we find that many people who are starving are living very if they are sick, there's no medicine. Is it not frozen violence? It is violence. Nobody is doing this. But why it should be like this? Suppose there's a beggar. Now, he's not asking me money or I'm not giving. But it is wrong. Why a human being should be without food? It is a frozen violence. And then we are talking about religion. Dalai Lama is talking about religion. He told me one day, Dwarkoji, I preach compassion, you live compassion. That means this preach compassion is frozen violence. He himself said. But it is violence. When you say that I preach compassion, but you are not helping, it is frozen violence. A man like Dalai Lama, who is incarnation and many things, people are coming and worshipping him, then why should he see this violence and
not do anything about it?
Be surprised. No, he has said this. After him, after his death, there will be no Dalai Lama. Oh, he has declared. He has declared, after me, there will be no Dalai Lama. He is 14th. Now 15th, no Dalai Lama.
Why?
He said it is wrong. Why I should be a Dalai Lama? We are all human beings. Therefore he told me, I preach compassion, you live compassion.
But I think you can do both.
Huh?
But you can do both.
He has a point. He says, you can live compassion,
Huh?
you can preach compassion. You can be both.
No, but he agrees that I am not doing. He agrees, and he is not only in the heart. He openly says this.
So he's not. So he's not practicing what he's preaching.
Now I give you one good instance. One man from Bihar, one man went to meet Gandhi in Lucknow. You know Lucknow is one city.
Okay.
And he told him that Gandhiji, in my village, there's one British man, he starts telling us very much. He's doing very much wrong with us. So you come and help us. How to face this man? Gandhi told me, okay, I shall. They decided the date. I shall come. But before I come, you write one report. What bad things he is doing? He said, yes. So Gandhi went there. That British man heard that Gandhi has come in my village and they are inquiring what is happening in this village. Somebody went and told him. He sent one person to Gandhiji that tomorrow morning you leave my village, otherwise I shall kill you. He sent him a person. Gandhiji heard this. He did not say a single word. No reaction. In the morning, next morning, Gandhi went to his house.
That British
And he told the servant that you go and tell him that Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi has come to meet you. He heard, he brought gun from inside. How he has come to my house? I told you to leave this village. How did you come to my house? He said, asked him, I told you to leave my village. Why did you come to my house? So Gandhiji put both hands back and he said, come on, shoot me, I'm ready. And he had a gun with him. And when he said, yes, I'm ready, shoot me, the British man came down and he told him to come inside. Now you imagine, when he is telling him to leave village, I shall shoot you. Now he is asking him to come inside. How can Gandhi go there? But Gandhi went. Said, what do you, no, he said, why have you come here? Why have you come in Bihar? He said, you cannot ask me this question. This is my country. Gujarat is my country, Bihar is my country. I can come, you cannot ask this question to me. So what is the matter? So he said, you are forcing people to put, you know, नील को क्या कहते हैं अंग्रेज में?
There is
make the white, clothes white.
It's a whitener. It's a kind of a whitener.
A bleach.
Yeah, like bleach.
Like bleach, the whitener. So, कपड़ों को
like
Neil, we call
bleach
Neil,
white and liquid, na? But in our country,
so
there is dry and blue. And you put
It's a blue
little
color.
bit in the water
So they were
and mix
villagers
it and then
were
put the clothes. So it will be white.
planting this. And this British man was telling them not to plant this. Oh no, British villagers were planting rice and not this. And British man was telling them not to plant rice, plant this. And he giving them less money. So
this crop was at a subsidized rate. They were not getting remunerative price.
Exploitation.
So Gandhi told him, no, let them plant anything they like. If you like the rate, you purchase. You don't like, don't purchase. But how are you forcing them? So this British man said, but why are you saying this? Villagers are not saying this. He said, villagers are saying this. So he said, let the villagers give me in writing.
How are you? Rohit.
And I read one book. They say in this book that Jesus Christ disappeared at the age of 12. And he again came back to Bethlehem at the age of 30. And after 3 years, he was crucified. So 18 years, nobody knows where he was. But in this book they say that he came to India on foot. And very interesting thing I see that Jesus, when we see any photo of Jesus, he has this loincloth here and wrapper, because this was the dress in Kashmir. He went to Kashmir,
Thank you.
not Kashmir exactly, Ladakh. So there he used that dress, Indian dress. And when he came back to Bethlehem, he was wearing the same dress. He was never wearing pants. And another thing about Buddha, Buddha came to Bodh Gaya. So we always say Bodh Gaya, Gaya Buddha. But he wrote one book. Buddha wrote one book, Dhammapad. Dhamma means religion. Pad means path of religion. He never said Buddha, only religion, dharma. And he was born as Hindu. He lived as Hindu. He died as Hindu. He did not use word Buddha whole life. Never. Dhammapad, religion path. So why they call this Bodh Gaya? Because when he never spoke about Bodh Gaya. The reason is that that land where I am living now, but Buddha's temple is also there. This land was a sacred place, very sacred place. He was living at 5 miles for 6 years. He did not get anything. There was a cave with 5 other persons. He was living in the cave. Nothing happened. And he became very weak, because in Hindu religion they say if you torture your body, you will get soul. So he was torturing his body. One day he was going with a stick, and he fell down because he was weak. So he said, I think I shall die now. But why should I die? I've got son, I've got wife. Why should I die? So he, with the help of the stick, he went in the village and borrowed food, and he ate food. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, he got some strength. Other 5 persons who were living with him, they told him, now you are tired and you are finished now. You will not get salvation. He told them no. He used two words. He had not become Buddha at that time, but still he used two words. Madhyam Marg, middle path. Don't eat so much that you are running after food. Don't go on fast that you die. Middle path. So he left those people and came to Bodh Gaya. Now in Bodh Gaya there was a tree, banyan tree. And we say, in India we say, that all trees, they give oxygen, they eat oxygen and give carbon dioxide like a human being.
No, plants are the opposite.
But on night, in the night, all these trees do the same. But there are two trees in India, they in the night give oxygen, eat carbon dioxide. So Hindus worship those trees. And in the night, they go and sit for meditation, they get good oxygen, they give air is good. So that tree was there. And Buddha came and sat under this tree. And he was meditating there. Now this might be historical thing, might be wrong, might be right. So I tell you now my own experience. One day after lunch, it was very hot, and hot wind. After lunch, I went and slept in my room. 1 hour I slept. Then I came out of the room, very hot wind, without any reason, without any purpose. I went in the north. And in the north, there was one wooden bed outside the house. One old man was sitting on this bed, was crying. So I said, "Who are you? From where have you come?" "I have come from Kanpur." "So why are you weeping?" He said, "I'm a sad man. I've got many problems." So I decided,
Take something.
I thought maybe Buddha
You must be
got
hungry.
enlightenment in Bodh Gaya. Maybe I shall go there and I might get peace. So I purchased a railway ticket. I came here. When I got down from the rickshaw, these feet have brought me here. I don't know what is this place. I don't know where is Buddha's place. But as soon as I sat on this bed, I felt light, I felt peace. I don't know what is this, but I did this. So I don't know where is Buddha's place. So I took him to Buddha's place. I kept him in the ashram for one night, gave him food, and we had a talk also. So this shows that land where we have ashram or Buddha's temple, it's a sacred land. There are other experiences I have. So from this I believe that this is a sacred land.
There are several places on earth where
Very good land.
there's special characteristics. We have a place very close here, Yosemite, has a inverse arrangement of the oxygen. I mean, there's a higher percentage of oxygen in the air in Yosemite than there is normally because of the character of the. I don't know if that has an application here. Yeah, Bob has something.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. Emily, you have to. You are young. You can digest.
This.
You like this chocolate?
Uncle, no, I have this. Thank you.
Dwarkoji, when we were working with Shri,
Oh, wait.
we tried to build some villages. Have any of them survived?
Build something what?
When Dwarko and Shri and I built some villages,
Yeah.
I wondered if any of those villages survived.
Bob and Sridharan, Sri. Some villages were built there. He is asking, are they surviving? Those villages? Those villages. Some villages were built. Are they there?
You are asking about new villages
The ones that we built.
that I made.
Yeah.
They are, villages are there.
Shri and I provided the seeds.
Villages are there. But I don't know whether I have told you, one great man of India, he was asked to make president or prime minister. He refused. Very good man. He came in our ashram and he met our children. He was very happy. Then I told him to say some words of blessing to children. He said, no, Dwarkoji, I am a politician. These are so small. How can I talk to them? I said, blessing, whatever you say, bless them. What is the harm to bless? He said, all right. So, children said some songs, dances. So he said, children, last time I came, I stayed 4 hours. Now I have come for 1 hour. This ashram is not the place to stay 1 hour or 4 hours. We should stay 4 days here. And he started crying. 20 minutes he was crying, not speaking. Then he came out of the hall. I also came out. He said, Dwarkoji, I am born here. You have come from Pakistan, but I am born here. So I know these children more than you know. I said, yes. So these children are subhuman. English, he said. These children are subhuman. How you have made them? So therefore I am crying that how these children live subhuman life. So subhuman word I knew, but it is not appropriate for these children. I never thought. Then I understood that he is right. Now I tell you one interesting. One man kept his son here in our ashram. Then son left school, ashram, and he was working at home. He had 3 children, 3 sons. His father came to me. He said, what have you taught him? Look, he is not giving me food. Now I am old, he is not giving me food. So I called the son. He was my student. I called him, Hey, why are you not giving food to your father? He is old, sick. From where can I give him? Whatever I am earning, I am giving food to these 3 sons, my wife, myself. I don't have much. From where I can give? So I said, then what will he eat? if you will not give him, what will he eat? He said he can go and beg. Now in India, nobody can say these words. Impossible that he should go and beg. So I also felt that this man told me that they are subhuman. Really they are subhuman. No Indian, of course I know they are poor, but they cannot utter these words. It is shame to utter these words. So you asked me about these villages. There were 13 villages. 13 I made. So then I had very much difficulty. Like this, they were not hearing me also. If I give them money, they will accept money. They will not do the work. They will drink wine, don't do work. So slowly I stopped giving them money. I told them, if you don't do work, then how can I give you money? But after 10 years, one Englishman was working there in these villages. He came after 10 years and he said, Dwarkoji, I want to see those villages where I worked. I said, okay. So I took him. I was surprised. I saw they are working. Because when I was giving money, they were not working. But when I stopped giving money, they were starving, they worked. But not so much. Means I would not say that the time I was giving money, they were working. They were not working so much afterwards, but they were working. So this is I wanted to tell you that these people are subhuman. They don't understand. You talk to them, you love them, you help them.
My recollection, my memory, Sri Sridhan and I sent you arranged for 2 hectares, for 1 hectare, for each family, 25 families. You provided the school, and Sri and I provided some money for seeds for the villages. Are these the same villages?
But I say, they are working now, but not so much progress as they were doing at that time. So, it is very...
No, he's asking, Mr. Bob is asking that 2 acres of land...
No, 1 hectare.
1 hectare.
1 acre of land...
Hectare.
1 hectare of land was given and financed by Mr. Bob when Sri was there. He's asking about that project.
No.
I remember.
Dwarkoji arranged for the hectare of land.
Yeah.
Sri and I provided the money for seeds to plant.
Yeah.
And we were going to build 10 villages, but we only built 7, I think.
Oh.
And then Dwarkoji told me to stop after Sri died. So I just wondered if any of those villages survived.
He's asking about those where you gave 2 hectares of land and to develop those villages, 7 villages, right?
I remember.
And they gave the seed also, finance for that. So what is the position, status of that now?
I remember. And they did not work. Trees were eaten by animals. They did not look after the trees. We had put trees, and trees grew also, but we did not succeed in this. But they are working there. Not that land is
waste. They put some seeds. They are working, but not the trees.
Not the trees. But they are working. They're still survived. Good.
So they are there.
They are there. And they are better. The time you came, now they are better, but not that way we want.
Okay. How about the eye camps? How are the eye camps? You had the eye camps.
I came.
Now I tell you about ICAM. That is very, very successful work. Very nice. What happened? In newspaper, article on my work was published. One young man, rich man, he passed engineering in a university. He came out and he read this article. He wrote me a letter. I read your article. I am very much impressed. I want to work there. Would you give me work? I've got money. I wrote him, yes, you are welcome. He came from Bombay to Patna in plane. And to this man who told me that these children are subhuman, he went.
I'll tell him that gentleman's name was Jayaprakash Narayan, and he was in America for 11 years.
11 years.
And he was communist minded, so he ran away from here, went to London, and there was one communist. Along with him, he wanted to go to Russia. But during that time, Russia, they were not allowed to go. So he had to go back to India. So he is the person to whom Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to make him a prime minister after himself. He's such a Jayaprakash Narayan, a real person. He started a democratic socialist party in India to bring democracy like America on socialist pattern. He changed his mind from communism to...
So this boy went to him and told him, I'm going to Dwarkoji. He told him, no, don't go there. Why? Anybody who is coming in Bihar is going to Dwarkoji. What will happen to other villages? Don't go there. He said, no. I have written to him, I will go there. I give you 50,000 rupees as a donation, but I shall go there. So he gave him 50,000 rupees. He came to me. And he stayed 6 months with me. In the village, with the subhuman people. He lived there. And he worked there. And he spent 400,000 rupees. Gave them work. And he went away. Now, my idea is not to ask money. If people give me money, I work. If people don't give money, I don't ask. So for 13 years, this man did not give me a single rupee. No contact, nothing. After 13 years, he felt, he remembered me, again came, and came for 4 days. So ashram people asked him money. So he said, money? Dwarkoji is not asking money. Why you are asking? So he came to me. He said, do you have problem of money? I said, no. I have no problem. These people are asking money. I told him they are wrong. I'm not asked money from you. 2 days have passed, no money. So I told him, look, if you see, I've got 20 children. I'm feeding them, I'm teaching them. If you give me money, I shall bring 10 more children. But if you not give me money, I shall not bring. What is the problem? The question is, I cannot solve the problem of this bhukha.
Hunger.
Huh?
Hunger.
I cannot solve the hungry problem of every child of there. If you give me money, I shall work. If you don't give me, I shall not work. Pardon. So he said, Dwarkoji, I did not marry because of you. You are not married, so I am not married.
He's
I
an
will
engineer.
work for
He's
the
an engineer.
people. Secondly, I have learned how to work with the poor people from you. So I have started now eye operation work.
I can.
So you start eye operation, I help you. I told him no, I will not start. Why? Because if they have bad eyes and if you will give them operate their eyes and they are poor, what they will eat? I am working in Bihar against poverty. If they are not poor, they can earn money and they can live. But if you give them eyes and no food, what will they do? So he very much forced me about eye. No, eye work is good, eye work. I told him, look, you are not telling me any selfish thing. You want to serve Bihar. Come, I shall work, I shall help you. So first year, 1984, we did 2,400 operations. And last year, we have done 34,000.
Amazing.
And
From
this
2,000
year,
to 34,000.
program is 50,000.
Oh.
And you will be surprised to know he is spending 35 million rupees per year.
35 million rupees?
He is bringing. I am not asking money. He is bringing, so I help him. So this year, his idea is 50 million.
50 million.
Rupees.
And now he has become old now, not young, because 30 years he has worked. 30 years he has worked me. And we have done 500,000 operations.
Incredible.
And then another thing I tell you very interesting. 6 months before, one girl, 10 years old girl, born blind. We brought her. We gave her both eyes. And now she can see. So she said, I am grateful to you. Why? You have shown me the faces of my father and mother. Because I was born, I could not see mother and father.
Wow.
Now I am seeing mother and father. This is because of you. And how much money I spent? 2,000 rupees. One girl, 2 eyes, 2,000 rupees. Now you
It's
imagine.
It's only $40.
40 rupees.
It's $20 per one eye.
If you go in the market, 30,000. And I do in 2,000. So she said, now I am asking you a question, that a child born blind, because he has no 2,000 rupees, he is born blind. Is it not injustice?
Oh, it's injustice.
2,000 rupees and you are blind for whole life.
You told me a story about a man who you wanted to have his child have operation, and he said he uses the child for begging, and he didn't want the child to be operated on.
He said, probably you had mentioned a boy in Bodh Gaya who never wanted to have this eye.
A father that didn't want his child to have the operation because he was using the child to
as
beg.
a beggar, for begging. He's asking, you had quoted of a father not getting his son operated, because probably he was using him for begging so that he can earn money for him. He remembers, Bob remembers that
remember.
story.
Tell him the story.
No, you are right.
अच्छी में है
Now that
समझिए हो
that I
अच्छा good come
that I told you
क्या रहे program
that I told you that there are some people.
Right. I just want you to hear this story. Tell
Emily
the story about this person. I want him to tell Emily the story about this father and this child.
Emily
Emily.
इन एमिलीअ खे इहा ॻाल्हि ॿुधायो ये छोकिरी आहे न भई ॾिसो ॿारु जंहिं पीउ अहिड़ो जेको न पियो चाहे त भई उहो बेघर ई बणियो रहे न त मूंखे पुछंदो कोन कैन यू टेल दैट स्टोरी टू एमिली
There was one man. He had 3 sons. And he was earning money and bringing food, giving his children. But he had not sufficient to feed the father. So he was not feeding father. Father came to me complaining about the son that he is not giving me food. So I asked the son that why are you not giving? He said, how can I give? Because I am not earning so much that I can feed all. Children, where they will go? So I am giving food to children. But father can go and beg. Now this will never happen in India. Nobody will tell you this. Only this community, because of poverty, they lose thinking.
He told us this story a moment ago, but I want him to tell us the story.
other one, no?
Yeah.
पहिरीं जेका हूअ ॻाल्हि हुई न जेको पीउ न पियो चाहे त अखियुनि जी हुनजे ॿार जी ऑपरेशन थिए त जीअं उहो कमाऊ रहे ऐं उहो करे उहो बि ॿुधायो हुनखे
तो वो तो उनका तो मैंने कहा किया ना ऑपरेशन मिल गई ना आँख उनको
अने पर तव्हां पहिरीं इहो ॿुधायोसि न भई मेंटेलिटी कहिड़ी आहे उतां जी द मेंटेलिटी ऑफ फादर not getting his son operated because so that he can go on begging and
वो तो मैंने पहले बताया
ये because she should know.
I want her to know.
Yeah. So what is the mentality of
mentality means that they don't understand and they don't have money. But what I said, that you imagine, think that a girl 10 years old, born blind from the birth. From birth she was blind. She got no eyes. We gave her eyes. Both eyes were operated. She started thinking. So what I say, for 2,000 rupees, if the child remains blind for the whole life, is it not injustice?
This is a sin. This is a sin of the country.
It's morally wrong.
Deprive the whole girl for the whole life.
And we have done 500,000 operations. But if you go in the market, in the private market and get the operation, you need 30,000. But we spend only 2,000.
I have a project of one of the companies that I invested some money in is starting to deliver hydrogen fuel cells to India for the cell phone companies.
Cell phone.
And I'm trying to get them to meet Dwarko and to see if they can help what he's doing. So they're doing business now. And I have a friend in Bangalore who is very rich, and I'm trying to get him or one of his children to talk with Dwarko and to see if he can support him.
Yeah.
Mr. Bob, to Achman Hida. Mr. Bob has one friend in Bangalore Bob has a friend in Bangalore.
Bangalore.
So he is asking him to meet you. So I think it's better, November, they have an eye camp.
I'll tell him about
November,
Now,
next month.
This time we have 3 camps. One this month. I'm reaching there 17, maybe 1 or 2 days after we start. 1 camp. Then second camp next month. Then it will be very cold. Now these poor people don't have clothes, and in winter we cannot provide bed. So we will stop. Then again in March, January, February will be very cold. Again in March we shall do 1 camp. So this year we have a program of 50,000 operations. And then another thing in my mind, when I did this operation of this girl, 10 years old girl, from that day I've got something in my mind. I want to stop the operations of old people. I want to make a survey of total Bihar and find out who are the blind children. And in ashram, I want only to do operation of the blind children, only blind children. But then the question is that there are not so many doctors, because child operation is little difficult.
She is learning.
So maybe, then I say, why are you thinking of this? Suppose you will do this work in 5 years, but when you have more doctors available, it might take 10 years. When we have no doctors, what can I do? Now, one lady from Sweden, imagine how it happens. She is doing child operation. So every year from Sweden she comes. We don't pay her anything, only food and room. Coming, going, she does this. She does not ask us money. And medicine we give. So I am now thinking about this.
She was bringing even lenses. When we visited 4 years back, that doctor lady she was bringing even the lenses.
No. Money we spend.
Lenses in the eye.
Lenses we put.
Acha, you give.
That we purchase.
Acha, okay.
So now this is in my mind that till I am alive, I work only for children. Because
blind children.
It is said that a child for 2,000 rupees, child remains blind for the whole life. I think it's very bad. So money is also a problem. But more than money is a problem of doctors.
Dedicated doctors.
So both are problems, but I want to work for this.
I have some friends in India that I will try to contact.
So Bob is telling that he has few friends in India, and moreover there is one company, cell phone company. They are also having business there. So he is going to talk to them.
If somebody we get, and doctors is not easy, but whatever doctor, now up till now, 2,300 children I have done. I have done operation for 2,300 children since 30 years, because it is a little difficult. Ordinary operation is not difficult. But this is a little difficult. But we shall try.
What's the blindness, does he know what is the blindness?
Oh, that is very good question.
He is
Actually,
in
what
8th standard.
happens,
And Nikhil is, Samir is 7th.
we are now, take for example Gandhi. Now United Nations passed a resolution to celebrate Gandhi's birthday all over the world. So today they celebrated. I went there. Now what was the celebration? Gandhi was a good man. Gandhi was this, Gandhi was this. Meeting was finished, we came back. Now what certificate we want to give to Gandhi? Gandhi is no more. So well, he is good or bad, what is it? So I told them today that this is a university. You are thinking here, sitting here and talking Gandhi was a good man, Gandhi was good, and meeting was finished. Again next year we shall say Gandhi was a good man. So I said, Gandhi said about education. Now you will be unhappy to hear this. Gandhi said that education today in India or in America also is anti-human, anti-national.
There's a very hard line.
Anti-human.
The education you are getting is, Gandhi called it anti-human, anti-national.
Anti-human.
Means what? I'm explaining. You are, suppose you want to drink milk. How will you drink milk? In a cup, in a bottle, in a glass. You are drinking milk. This glass is the container of milk. Right?
Right.
In the same way, you are reading, writing, getting education in the class. What are you doing? You are reading books. So books are not education. Books are containers of education. What is education? I'm not telling, Gandhi says this. What is education? Art of living is education. How you should live. Art of living. So he used 3 words. Education of life, education for life, education through life is education. So he called it new education. This, that we are studying, we have studied. This is, he said, is old education. I am talking about new education. Now how? Now I told you we have these poor children. I am running a school for them. So we take a book and tell them to read book. We teach them. So this is not education. This is education of words, not life. So you should learn education of life, education for life, education through life.
Practical.
Now let me tell you more. We have these small children. These children, we are giving education. So we are giving them these books to read. They read book. And there is unemployment. They are not getting work. So they are starving. So therefore Gandhi says, this education that is going on in India is anti-human, anti-national. You tell the child how to live properly, how to work. Now how he is doing? We take the child. Come on, we want to cook food. So how many children we are giving them food? 10 children. How much each child eats? 2,000 grams. So 200 grams. So how much 10 children means 2,000 grams. Now take out 2,000 grams of flour. Now flour is in kilos. So you measure, bring. And then we have to make dough. So we need water. Water is not in kilo, water is in liter. So he's learning water is in liter. Now make a dough and make small round things to make chapati.
Bread.
And you have to make chapati round. So he's learning how to make the chapati round.
Bread.
Then you have to bake chapati on the fire. We have to teach them this. And when chapati, that science we are teaching, how to make chapati. After the science, chapatis are made, we say, count how many chapatis? 40 chapatis. Now 40 chapatis, and we have 10 children. How much each child? 4 children. So he is learning mathematics also. And then we ask them, come in the class. How did you bake chapatis today? Write down. He is learning language. Art of living.
All things have come
Today
in.
there is no art of living.
Maths.
That's
Counting.
wonderful.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, I want to tell.
But our education in America is objective.
I want to tell.
This we call new education.
I want to tell Dwarko. I want to tell
Gandhi
Dwarko a
said
story.
new education.
I want to tell you some work that I'm involved
Now
with.
I give you another example. One day, Gandhi went for a morning walk. So Gandhi is a big man, so 50 people were behind him. They went. They returned. And he saw one person sitting out of the ashram gate. Gandhi knew him. So he went to him, he said, why are you sitting on the ground? No, I came to see you. Now I've seen you, now I'm going. No, you come with me. Come with me in the ashram. He took him in on the ashram. And after 1 hour, Gandhi was playing with his son. He was playing, a small child. So he said, oh, today you came in, this man came in ashram. He was leprosy. So your manager asked him to go out of the ashram. Don't sit here because we are bad disease. Get out. So he went and sat outside. And you came, you brought him in the ashram. When Gandhiji heard this, he was surprised. So he inquired, and it was true. So he said, today, Gandhi says, today God came in ashram and we have insulted the God. A leper was my God and we have insulted him. Now I don't want to impose my idea.
When I get the money, then when we come to India, we will bring this to Dwarkoji and work out something so his children can have this advantage from their parents.
So he is working on that project and he has some connections in India. Those people can approach you, and the children, their parents can be educated. So what he's trying, because he has to collect funds for that.
Now here I suggest one thing, because here in America situation is different. I would say in India, if we start a school, not teaching the playing, teaching the work, productive labor, productive, so that they can, after that when they go into life, they can earn money.
He's telling, sorry.
That's somebody else's work. Our work is to
Parents.
stimulate brain growth, to stimulate sensory experience, to stimulate creativity, socialization, not academic, and not to teach to work. These are children from 2 months to 6 years. And it isn't for everyone, but the rich people will want it for their children and they'll pay. The poor people
yes.
will try to make arrangements so that he can do
because
it if
this
he
is a very
wants
good
to do it.
idea. In India, we believe that the children of that prime age, whatever we call sanskaras, whatever education goes to them, that builds the base of their life. I think that's the approach.
That's exactly what
That's
we're
what
saying.
I got you the idea.
It's
what
the
you are-
foundation
Yeah,
of
the
all their
foundation,
learning.
because it is the prime age up to 5 years or 6 years, the child which has, on that foundation only he grows.
Right. And the
Am I right? That's what you're-
Yes, and the parent
Yes.
is responsible, but they don't know how
Their
to do
parents
it.
are primarily responsible for children.
But they don't know how to do it.
True, very
so
true.
we're teaching them how to do it.
This is a grassroots approach. This is a grassroots approach. चवणा त जेके ॿार आहिनि असां बि चवंदा आहियूं न था त ॿार नंढी एज में जेके उनखे संस्कार मिलंदा उहे अॻिते उहा बुनियाद आहे उनजी बेस आहे तो ये जो सेंसरी जाके उनके सेंसेस डेवलप हों बच्चों के तो उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल प्राइमरली कौन है उनके पेरेंट्स तो दिस एजुकेशन इज फॉर द पेरेंट्स ताकि दे शुड नो how to develop their children from that prime age, from that, so that they have that basic
मेरा ख्याल है
sensitivity.
मेरा ख्याल क्या है कि यहाँ जो पेरेंट्स हैं, यहाँ जो वायुमंडल है, यहाँ की जो नीड है, उसके अनुसार ये कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन अगर हम बच्चों को खेलना सिखाएंगे तो जवान हो जाएगा तो क्या करेगा?
नहीं खेलने की नहीं कर रहे हैं ये
उनके संस्कार देना
उनके में सेंसेशंस ॿारनि खे भाई हिन जो चवणु आहे त ॿारनि जी मेंटल डेवलपमेंट जे लाइ
उसके लिए वो थ्रू वर्क इनके छा मां चयो एजुकेशन ऑफ लाइफ, एजुकेशन फॉर लाइफ, एजुकेशन थ्रू लाइफ।
ये एजुकेशन की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, एजुकेशन तो अपनी जगह है, दैट इज डिफरेंट। हिज आइडिया है कि उनके सेंसेस, बच्चों के सेंसेस डेवलप करने के लिए
बराबर है ना, वो जो सेंसेस डेवलप हो वो अगर प्रोडक्ट लेबर के साथ है तो ज़्यादा लाभ होगा ना।
अदा उन्हीअ में इन जो वीचार न आहे, हे उन्हीअ ॻाल्हि ते नथो चाहे, हे वो चाहे तो भाई मां छा कंदा हे इन जो आहे
न उसमें ये भी किया जाएगा ना, ये नहीं किया जाएगा ऐसा नहीं, वो भी किया जाएगा, लेकिन आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग
वो तो ॿार वॾो थींदो त आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग कंदो न, नंढो ॿार कीअं
they
कंदो?
want to develop their basic senses develop करके so that child becomes
इंटेलिजेंट।
यहाँ का सिचुएशन अलग है ना, इंडिया का सिचुएशन अलग है ना।
I actually think you're doing the same
अंदर वो
thing.
भी he wants to do it for poor people. अमीरनि लाइ
I
थोड़ी
think
तो
what
करणु
you're
चाहे,
doing is
गरीबनि लाइ करणु थो चाहे।
is in
प्राण जो
consort
सवाल
with
त
what
मेन
he's
आहे भाई
talking
हंगर आहे
about.
उते।
It's not against it. It's
No.
he's the training that they're talking about doing and that they're actually been doing is training through life and with life and so on. It's the
his
same.
idea is that because
He
where
want
he's
to
working
give
in
this
Bihar,
education through
because
work.
it's the
They can earn
poorest of
Right.
the
when
poor,
they will grow.
that
They have no money.
state
So they
is the
learn
poorest
that.
in India. So he
So
said
that
their
training-
basic parents or the children, the basic problem is of hunger. His whole emphasis.
And I understand that.
So he says, I want to make a multiple so that something can be done for the hunger, at the same time development of the
We were
child's mentality.
Giving training to her.
A 2-month-old child,
No.
we're not going to teach
Can you hold it tight?
cleanliness or
Ha,
so what we cannot do everything.
Right.
He knows. What our effort is here to help parents everywhere teach their children how to play with their children. Teach the parents how to play with their children
When they spend time.
to stimulate their brain activity and to stimulate other sensory and socialization. We think those matters are fundamental to the child. Now, we cannot, in this company, we cannot solve the hunger problem or the poverty problem, except to say we can make this program available at very low or no cost to the poor people. But we can't solve the food problem, and we can't solve the. So that's not the purpose of this company. Other company, maybe we can get other companies to involve in that, but no one is doing this job of children, especially in poor countries. This job of parents.
Is there any such center working in Bay Area? I'm taking him on 14. I was wondering if I can show him.
Well, there is
14
in
and
LA,
15 we are there.
In LA it is.
Sorry?
The program is being taught in LA. Los Angeles.
We missed, actually, we were there for 5 days.
Yeah. But it's, I could send, I'll tell you what. I'll send you.
I think
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you an email.
Right.
Today or tomorrow.
He will.
And
he can go through it.
In the email there'll be 4 videos that you can watch and have him watch.
Yeah, true.
I'll send
so that he gets, because this is something I feel personally is really good, because these children will be more intelligent.
See, I want to teach.
Because at that age,
I want to teach children of rich parents and children of poor parents. I don't want, I want.
And in between.
And in between.
That is good for all.
No, it's a very good idea. In fact, I feel personally this is very important, because that creates a base of the child.
Right.
And today the child gets, when he grows and he gets bewildered here and there. So this will solve a big problem. Later on, these children, if that basic fundamentals are not clear to them.
It creates more synapses, and it creates all kinds of coordinations.
Because that boy will be more confident, that child will be more confident, and he cannot get into, the bad society very easily. Because he will have his own personality
also,
development.
Exactly.
Because that will hold him.
They also strengthen the bond between the parents and the children.
Bondage also, yes.
Yeah, bond, very strong.
That bondage will also...
And also, the experience is that fathers get much more involved because of the program. Because men usually need some concrete
Bob is telling,
what do I do?
Bob is telling, if this kind of a education can be given through the parents to the child at the primary age, so like you mentioned to him, that the son tells his father, go and beg on the street. He will not say that. I'm giving that
example back.
If this kind of basic education is given, that child will never, he will be so ashamed, he cannot think.
Right, that way.
I am just replying when he said that one of the child, he becomes a family man, he throws his parents out of the house and tells him go on the street and beg. He will not do that.
Right.
If that kind of parents' education is given to him.
Strengthening the bond.
Yeah. So this bondage and the values.
Right.
Positive values for the life.
Right.
Life values also, no?
Right.
I got you. I'll discuss with him.
Right. Okay.
Because there's answers that.
And the activities, we have about 600 activities. And depending on the child's age and progress and things, and they're 2 or 3 minutes each, or 4 minutes sometimes. So a combination for each child and parent, and we customize it for them on the internet or on the web, on the cell phone. So when I will send you some stuff to share with him, and when we haven't raised the money yet, so it's going to take more time. But when we get it done, I will see how we can probably be useful to Dwarkoji.
I think this is, injecting the virtues at the, at the right age.
Yep.
It is injecting those virtues which will stand lifelong. Not only bondage, but his own personality.
Oh yes, definitely.
So this is a foundation.
It is learning.
This is how I take
It's
it.
learning through life. It's learning.
It's learning through life.
It's all the things that Dwarkoji
Yeah,
is
same.
saying. It's the same thing.
And this is the need of the hour, the way things are changing, the
Way
way
of talk,
these young people are getting, bewildered. At least that will really hold them.
Dwarkoji is working to help poor people. There's an old saying, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And what he is trying to get us to think in terms of the problem he's solving, which is an important problem to solve, essential. We're trying to solve a different problem. And it may be supportive of what he wants to do.
No, I'll explain.
We're talking
to you.
about 1 hour every day. There's 8 more hours or 10 more hours that they can teach the other.
वो इंटरनेट पर जो प्रोग्राम है इनका डिटेल में he is sending us, we'll study it, then you can get it, I'll get you.
Christians all over the world. Suppose today Jesus comes and he sees these Christians. He will be, I think, disappointed that what I told them, what they are doing. So, what is happening? We go in the church, we pray, and come back home, and we forget church. We go in the temple, we go in the mosque, the same thing. Then one man, I'm telling you the true story. One man, he believed in violence. So against British people, in India, he was using these violent methods to push British people out or kill them out there. So he was put in jail and they put him in the cell. Cell means you have not to meet anybody. Only policeman will take the plate and give him food, but no meeting with anybody.
Solitary confinement. Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement.
Oh, yes. So he was released from the jail. But in the jail,
You're not taking anything.
because he was not meeting anybody, so he started thinking about God
I'm working.
and super consciousness, these things. He was released from the jail. So these old his friends who believed in violence, they came, and he did not like it because he had gone to God. So he ran away from Calcutta, went to South India, Pondicherry. He rented one house and one young man, and he told him that you will cook my food and this, I shall pay you, but I will not meet anybody. If anybody comes, you tell him he is not meeting people. And he said, I will help the people to go beyond the mind. But when I shall achieve this, then I shall come in the society and tell people to go beyond the mind. Gandhi heard this Gandhi criticized him publicly. Said, you are foolish. Now you are sitting in a room. And after you will learn this, then you will come and help people. You start helping people now. Now Gandhi was a man who will not tell anything to other people if he does not do himself. So he started in his ashram to go beyond the mind. And his spiritual advisor, Venoba, he also started in his ashram. Both started ashramite people to go beyond develop super consciousness. Both failed. Gandhi also did not succeed, Venoba also did not succeed. But I am in this work, I feel that we should do that work. What is happening? We are going, now take for example today I spoke there. United Nations has declared the celebration of Gandhi's birthday all over the world. What will happen? There will be a meeting, we shall give lectures and forget Gandhi and this for the whole year. Next year again lecture. I told them, what is the meaning? So you start creating this super mind here, in the family, in the neighborhood, on Gandhi's birthday, to create a super mind. So I said, this is your university. You start there, teaching people about super mind. So this is one thing. Then Venoba, 1 year, he stopped meeting people, and he wanted to understand why this is not happening. So he got an idea that we are in India, we are doing this spiritual practice individually, not collectively. So there should be collective supermind, not personal supermind. In India, there is supermind, but it is personal, not collective. So what I was thinking, that we should think about this. So Venoba got an idea that there is, you might know this, that in England, when the science developed, there was quarrel between scientist and priest. You remember this? So there is one story also. You know, Darwin was a scientist and one priest was his friend. So they both were sitting and talking about this. So priest told Darwin, you will go to hell. You are not doing spirituality, you will go to hell. So Darwin told him, if I go to hell, I shall make hell also heaven through science. Science is the thing. So Gandhi said, science is searching truth in the outer world, and priest is searching truth in inner world. Both are searching truth, but their directions are different. So we have to bring harmony between science and spirituality. Scientific attitude on the basis of spirituality. Then Venoba joined a third word, science, spirituality and mutual trust.
Mutual trust is very important.
Because we don't trust each other. So he said, then you cannot get harmony between science and spirituality. You should have spiritual trust. So there should be a program to develop science, spirituality and mutual trust to create collective supermind.
Spirituality. And spirituality.
Spirituality.
also.
As you rightly said, the Gandhi's emphasis was to correlate.
The same thing. Now, this is another word, Gandhi's word. Correlate, he said. People asked him, do you think there is God? He said, yes, God is truth. There is God. When afterwards he changed the word, he said, God is truth, not right. Truth is God. You work for the truth, you will reach God.
I have 2 books I would like you to read. Tell him that I'm going to recommend 2 books for him to read. If I can have time, I don't think I can find them in a bookstore. You have to order them from Amazon or something. The first book, the title is God According to God.
God according to God.
Yeah.
Great.
And the other one is The Science of God.
Science is God.
Science of God.
Science of God.
The Science of God.
Science of God.
And the first book, both books are marvelous. The first book explains that our understanding of God is childlike. We don't have, we learn about God when we're children, and that's,
Sorry.
That's not the...
Hello? बेटे कहाँ हो?
the first book, God According to God, it introduces us in a far more sophisticated way about God. The God that's written in the Old Testament, the God that the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims all believe in.
Right.
So it's one God. And it for example, it explains that God changes his mind. Think about that.
God changes his mind.
Yeah. That's not the God you think of.
Right.
But we have examples of him changing his mind. God
In the beginning, there were
can be
mistakes.
persuaded to change his mind. For example, God wanted to kill all the Israelites because when Moses came down from the mountain, they were worshiping the golden
Idols.
calf.
Idols.
Yeah. So, the golden idol. So, Moses persuaded them not to kill the Jews.
Right.
God can be persuaded. Now, that's a different God than you think about. This book is extraordinary. It's a wonderful, wonderful, in-depth way to understand God.
I'll note down and get it.
The other book, the writer, the author of both of these books is a scientist. He's from MIT, a PhD. He's very, very smart, is a scientist. And he says that science and the Bible are not in conflict. And he shows how they support each other. And you come away understanding that science and God are not at odds. It's a marvelous book. It's a little more technical, some math and things like that in it. But the first book to read is God According to God, and the second book is The Science of God.
Science of God.